Welcome to Steve Draws. I'm Steve, a Dutch illustrator and animator, and in this tutorial we're going back to basics, drawing objects in 3D space. The only thing you need for this tutorial is a pencil, a piece of paper and a ruler. I'm also going to use this piece of cake and show you how things work in perspective. So let's get to it. The first thing I'll do is cut out a piece of the cake, and you can see that it is a square, and a square in perspective makes a cube. And that's what I'm really doing. I'm just cutting out the shape, and that's the same thing you need to do when you draw things in perspective on paper. You're just sculpting your drawings on paper. And just for example, I just cut out the D shape and use it as reference for drawing the D in perspective. What I do now is I use the top of the paper as reference, and I just want to have some straight lines, so I use the ruler for that. You can do it freehand, but I just wanted it to be a little bit more accurate. So I divide the top part of the D in a square, and now I can sketch in the D. And I'm first going to do the front view of the D, and that's in a flat perspective. It's actually a 1-point perspective I'm drawing this in. So if you want to know anything about drawing a 1-point perspective, I'll leave a link in the description box down below to a video about drawing a 1-point perspective. And this is the easy part of drawing the D, because you draw it in front. And now I'm going to make a box out of the square. And it's always good practice, to draw everything in boxes, so that you know that you have the perspective right. And I draw a D because it has a different kind of shape, because it's on the right side, it's more rounded. And you need the box, to fit it into the box, and you need the perspective lines to draw it in the right perspective. But you see that there is a curve on the end, and I also draw that. And with pencils, it's always great to do some shading, so that you get a more depth of field, or a more in-depth drawing, because the light comes from the top right, so everything that's on the left will be darker. This is how you draw a D in 3D. And I also made some other letters as well, just for a sample, but this is the basic idea how you draw things in perspective. And then I'll use the eraser to erase the rest of the cube. So you just left with the D. The same principle applies to all the letters in the alphabet. I'm not going to draw them all, but you get the basic idea of how you can draw letters in 3D. So the A is a very special form, because it doesn't have any straight lines, because the curves on the left and right are a little bit more in a degree. And a B has round shapes. It looks a little bit like a D, but it has two curves to it. And I'm now just drawing it by hand, but you get the basic idea of how to draw letters in 3D space. If you want me to do more tutorials like this, please let me know in the comments down below. Then I'll make some other videos, or maybe do the entire alphabet. I'm not sure if that would be interesting. Please let me know in the comments down below. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up or subscribe to my channel. That way you won't miss a single video. If you have any more questions about drawing in perspective, please let me know in the comments down below. And if you want to draw other things in perspective, just ask and I will go over all the questions and maybe I can answer them or make a new video about it. Drawing is fun and practice makes perfect. See you next time. Doodles!